By the way, President Trump is tweeting about Smollett this morning. Here it is. FBI and DOJ to review the outrageous Justice Smollett case in Chicago. It's an embarrassment to our nation. Susan, we've been talking about these internal emails from Cook County Kim Foxx.
That's right.
What was she saying?
Well, she's been primarily blamed for this preferential treatment that Justice Smollett has gotten. So Fox has obtained some internal emails from the Cook County State's Attorney Office, Kim Foxx, and it's interesting how they're fishing for precedent here. So let's bring up this email. We don't know who actually wrote this email, but it's from the department, and it says we are looking for examples of cases, felony preferable, where we, in exercising our discretion, have entered into verbal agreements with defense attorneys to dismiss charges against an offender if certain conditions were met. Certain conditions in this case being that Justice Smollett had no prior convictions, non-violent offenses, and basically looking for ways to validate the fact that they did something that was unbelievable, which is to dismiss all 16 charges, seal the case, and basically walks off.
Well, this is how far things have gone. Tammy Bruce, independent women's voice president, Fox News contributor with me now. You heard what I had to say. I think it's a cover-up. What do you say?
Well, you know, even the National District Attorneys Association is now blasting this. They say that this is an indication where the rich are treated differently and the politically connected receive favorable treatment. I agree, of course, with your opening statement, but I would also suggest that this is a framework where you're looking at Jesse Smollett, is an actor. He was definitely, high up in the Democratic supporters, et cetera. But it's fascinating the degree that they've gone. And out of the blue, remember, this was a grand jury indictment. This was not something that someone in the police department or in the DA's office decided. For them to not just dismiss, but to seal. And with the connections and with the emails going back and forth, we know with Michelle Obama's former chief of staff, with Ms. Fox, the district attorney there, that people are wondering, what else is it that might have been discussed or that they were afraid of, perhaps, in a trial or within other things that might have been discussed about the manifestation of this hoax?
It was blaming Trump. It was blaming this hoax attack on Trump and linking Trump with racial violence and homophobia. That's what it was all about.
Well, it was that. And what does that tell you also? That this expectation that attitude is what will, in fact, elevate you within this entire framework. That was a sort of an understood environment. But I would say that at this point in time, that now with the FBI looking at it, and the FBI has its own problems, as we've learned over the last week, that this is an opportunity, and I would say perhaps a Me Too movement for everyone in Chicago who has not received justice in that city. People waiting for justice, waiting for the right people to be arrested, waiting for people within this court system to receive justice. I think the president has made it possible for people to say the status quo is no longer acceptable because people say, oh, it's Chicago. Maybe that's not good enough anymore. So when Hollywood, in Washington, and now in the justice system, maybe the Me Too movement is more of a statement of enough is enough for the status quo. All of us deserve better. And I think we can actually, when it comes to what President Trump represents, he is the formation of that we've had enough of what we've had before.
All right, Tammy Bruce, I'm glad we are in agreement because I never want to cross you, and that's the fact. All right, Tammy, thank you very much indeed. Let's get to your money. Look at this, please. The Dow Industrial is now up 91 points. Larry Kudlow, the president's chief economic advisor, just said that the U.S. could lift some tariffs on China while leaving others in place as part of the enforcement mechanism of a trade deal. That's a plus, I guess, for the market, and it's responding with a modest rally. We're up about 1/3 of 1%, up 95 points right now. How about Lululemon? Strong sales, and strong sales online as well. That stock is up $22. That is 15%. That is a rally. Look at Bayer. A jury has awarded $80 million in a case involving the weed killer Roundup and cancer. The stock actually is a fraction higher. There are other lawsuits to come, however. One jury in New Jersey has cleared J&J of liability in a talcum powder cancer case. That's one jury only. There's a load more lawsuits to come there as well. This is important. You're going to like this. I do. It's the latest read on mortgage rates. They're down.
They are down, and by quite a lot, 22 basis points from the week before, 4.06% on a fixed 30-year mortgage.
Whoa.
4.06%. It was
a huge drop.
4.28% last week. You know, the Fannie and the Freddie guys, they say, look, this will help a spring season bounce back in the housing market. At least that's the hope with these rates coming down so much. The economy doing reasonably well, certainly in the job market, that gives people the confidence to put the house on sale and go and move somewhere else. But that is a remarkably low number.
Susan, as the newcomer to this company, we should tell you that Ash and I often talk about the mortgage rates that we paid way back when. I paid 12.5% on my mortgage in the San Francisco house in the 70s, and you paid
16%.
There you go.
That was a long time ago.
Yes, it was a long time ago. That's right. Heaven forbid we go back.